Got to love technology. Hey, so Meta Money class back on the scene. Sorry about that, y'all. Gotta love technology when technology works, but we are back. I wanted to make sure that everybody could connect, could see what was going on, could hear what was going on, because this is very important. It's that time of the year, y'all. Everybody's graduating, high school seniors, college graduates, and everybody's trying to go back to college, and they want to do it for free or borrowing with at least money as possible. I always say if you can do it for free, that's the best way to do it. So we want to make sure that you understand how to get access to those scholarships. And I have the expert here. She is a scholarship search strategist who's going to help us to understand how to get those college scholarships and the secret to getting those college strategists. And then before, like I said, she has been my Facebook friend, my Twitter friend for like years and years. And this is the first time we get a chance to actually meet face to face, virtually, and actually talk to one another. So this is going to be absolutely fabulous. So I'm so excited to have Miss Ashley Hill back on the line with me. Hopefully we have a better connection and we can have a real conversation. And we're going to start this thing over because I need the parents and the students to hear this information and to know the secrets of getting the college scholarships. So thank you so much for your patience. Thanks for bearing with us with the technical difficulties. And we're going to start this over again. So Ashley, again, tell everybody how awesome you are and all about you. And you also have a book out too, right?
I do. So I'll start with an introduction. My name is Ashley Hill. I am a scholarship strategist. And so I help students and their families who are frustrated and stressed out in this process. I teach them how to use their talents and their achievements to cut college costs, because that's what everyone, wants to do. And as you mentioned, I do have a book out. It's called The Ultimate Guide for Finding and Winning More Money for College Now. It's on Amazon. It's on my website as well. So you can go to Amazon now and actually get it.
Wonderful. And it's actually the book of the week. So if you're watching from the website, or if you go to my website, madamoney.com, you will see the book of the week. And it is, of course, Ashley Hill's book. That is the book of the week. You go, girl. I got your bag.
Thank you.
Exactly. So we're going to get into it because now we've lost a little bit of time and I want to make sure that everyone understands this information. So let's talk about, again, the best way to get started with finding scholarships. As parents and as students, what is the best way to start finding those scholarships?
Yes. So the best way, it's really two parts. It's it's locally, yes, and then it's online. And I want to explain, so I'll answer first as locally, the reason why you want to start right in your community, because that already excludes everyone else. So if you live in Houston, Texas, for example, someone in Hawaii is not eligible for those scholarships. So just by virtue of geographic location, you already narrowed down the field. So that gives your child a better chance already, right off the bat, without even filling anything out yet. So number one is to start locally right in your neighborhood, but also is to start online, because I was mentioning a lot of local businesses, banks, organizations, community organizations that get scholarships, they have an online presence. And so you definitely want to go visit those organizations. And it's simple as just putting in Google, if you're in Houston, again, Houston +, local organizations + scholarships, and they'll all pop up.
Awesome. I like that idea of starting local, of going home, starting at home first. The local businesses and going from there instead of looking for those big national scholarships that everybody's competing with. Start locally, start at home. So that is a great tip for people to do. What's the best place to search, like online searching for scholarships? What's the best place to search there?
And I really kind of hinted at it, but it's really starting with local. And as you mentioned, once you've completed the local search, it's okay to expand at that point, but you want to start where your best chances are. And so again, it's not being afraid to go into your favorite search engine and just putting in, as I mentioned, your city, your +, and scholarships.
Awesome. So you can search online. I know that SallieMae.com has a search for scholarships as well. Sallie Mae is doing a rebranding of that because the Navient is the collection side of it. Sallie Mae is now the nonprofit side. So their whole goal is for you to find scholarships and have student loans as the last resource. And so I know I've worked with Sallie Mae for several years, and they have an awesome scholarship search for parents and for students as well. Yeah, so that's really cool. So I've heard about scholarship scams, never experienced them, don't know really what they are, but what are some examples of some scholarship scams and how can we avoid those scams?
Right. So a scholarship scam is anything that asks for your personal information, not your name, but for example, like your social security number. They may ask for a payment. You definitely want to not legit. And a great way to confirm that a scholarship is legit is to I like to go to the BBB, but I also like to look for a track record because any company that's legit, they're going to have some type of track record, some type of license, LLC. They're going to be in the news or some kind of mention. And then
Right.
finally is check with for example, let's say that they list up previous winners. If you know them, try to find out, but check locally in your area and ask other people, if it's legit too.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. So those type of scholarship scams, they're going to ask you up front before anything, your private information or like your social security number and all that. So you're not supposed to give that information. At
No.
what point do you give personal information for, or do you ever give personal information?
Right. So of course, the top part of the application will ask for your name, your address, your date of birth to confirm. That's okay. Now, if you are selected as the winner and they have to actually write a check, you may have to confirm your social or something at that point. And so at that point, it's fine. You're good to go at that point.
Okay. Okay, great. Awesome. Awesome. So I have Ashley Hill here. She is the Scholarship Search Strategist, has an awesome book. Check out my book of the week on madamoney.com talking about scholarships. So I'm so happy that she's on here sharing the information. Please share, especially if you know some people that have children that are about to graduate from high school, or even if they're not about to graduate from high school, they're in 8th, 7th grade, and you want to start getting on the ball now. You want to start searching early so you'll know, your child's good at soccer or baseball. You want to be able to get ahead of the game. This is the time to share the information so you'll know what to do when it comes time to do it. So that's awesome. So when is the best time of the year to really search for scholarships since we're talking about it?
I love this question all the time. All the time, I tell families, and I was surprised when I found this out myself, but there are scholarships for children as young as 5 years old. And the one that I'm referring to is called Google for Doodle. So of course it's sponsored by Google. And so even though it's opened up from kindergarten to 12th grade, 5-year-olds can win the scholarship funds associated with that scholarship program.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, so you
What
want
was it called? What was it called again?
called Google, the number 4, and then Doodle, all one word.
Okay, Google for Doodle.
Yeah. So
DOODLE. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's cool.
yeah,
Never heard of that before.
yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Cool. So how do I or my student, how do we know when a scholarship is a good fit? Or, I've never thought about it that way, but I guess the scholarship would have to be a good fit. One, why is it important for a scholarship to be a good fit? And how do we figure out when it's a good fit?
Right. So it's important for it to be a good fit because you don't want to waste time. Because I see a lot of students chasing down scholarships and they put so much energy and time into it and it was never a good fit for them. So you
Mhm.
simply don't want to waste time. Now, how you figure out if it's a good fit is you have to do a comparison. You have to look at this is for the child. It's actually a great activity for families all together. But for the child to just get out a piece of paper or their cell have some qualities about themselves if they're involved in sports, like you mentioned, soccer. Just make a quick list. Maybe they're exceptionally tall. Maybe they're into the arts. Make that list down. So now when they're searching, so if they're into soccer, but they come across a football scholarship or they come across a scholarship that it involves something that they've never done, then they're going to quickly pass over that and they won't waste time.
Okay. I got you. Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. So this is not amongst the question. I'm just curious. How did you decide you wanted to be a scholarship search strategist? Like, who does that? I'm just curious.
I don't know anybody else.
Right. I mean, I know a couple of y'all, but I'm like, who wakes up and said, you know what? I'm going to tell the world about how to get scholarships all day. Who does that?
I don't even know. Okay, I'll tell you the quick story. I know we've got a crunch time here. So the short version of the story is my background is actually in research and analysis. I came And so it's interesting how I'm able to use my research skills on this side of things. But I started out doing the entire process. And finally, one day I asked parents, I said, and they said, our kids smart. They're going to get in somewhere. We just don't know how to pay for it. And so then I started, I said, well, you know what? I even got scholarships even in my undergraduate and graduate years. So I said, let me help you out. That's how I started.
Wow. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, my kids are going to college. Yeah, I just don't know how I'm going to pay for it. How about that? So we just call Ashley and all things right with the world. Okay. That was my little commercial. I was like, who does that? Really? Okay, thank you. I think it's, what is it? Aodell, thank Joy. Joy, thank you for finding the right link. I appreciate you, honey. She found the right link for Doodles Google. Okay. You're awesome, Joy. That's my co-host for today, I tell you. Okay,
okay, right it on time.
Exactly. Look, somebody's watching. How about that? So how can I or my students, so if I want to, apply for a scholarship, or if my student for my son or whatever, how can I strengthen my scholarship applications or my son's scholarship applications?
Right. So first of all, the number one thing that scholarship judges want to see is evidence of leadership experience. And now when I say this, parents cringe and they say, well, my kid's not a natural born leader, or they don't like to be in the front. And I tell them that you can be a leader in the back, and I encourage them to go through this conversation with your child and talk about what are the qualities of a leader. A leader solves problems. And Tarra, this being in the business world, we solve problems all the time.
Right.
We work with a team. You have to pull in the team sometimes. And so then encourage your child, say, what can you do to develop that quality? So, hey, can you pull together a team and do a project in your community? What problem can you solve for someone else, in a project form? And so then use that on your application. You take that experience and tie it into the mission of the organization. The organization is fighting world hunger. Maybe when you're looking at this and you want to apply and you haven't, decided yet your activity, maybe you decide locally, let me go down to the shelter, let me put together a feeding, project or something with some friends. That way you can tie in the leadership and then you can still fulfill the obligations of that scholarship.
I mean, I like that concept of, you don't have to be necessarily in a leadership role, but you could have you could have had a school project, and the child can talk, they had a school project. They can talk about how they were a part of a team player, and how they led a portion of the team. That's leadership. Or, my son used to borrow money from me. I used to teach him whatever you borrow is capital. He would buy a whole bunch of candy, and then he would sell the candy. And so those are entrepreneurial skills that he exhibited, leadership skills, as also teamwork skills. So I like the way that you not only, you not only literally have to do something, but figuratively, your child could have exhibited all of those things to strengthen the application. So that's awesome. Exactly. I kind of like that. Yeah, you kind of good at your job, girl.
Thank you.
That's why I have you on the show. Just saying. All right. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is a big one, because I don't know about y'all, but the worst part of the scholarship application for me was the freaking essay. All right? I don't know why. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the only one that hated the essay. But I hated the essay. It was just painstaking or whatever. But what are some ways we can strengthen the essay for the scholarships to make it more appealing?
To answer that, I want to comment on the hating the essay. I hear this all the time. And, I tell students, and they ask me, they say, well, why do we have to do essays? Can I just do the scholarships without essays? And I said, let me tell you why that's a big mistake. Because if a judge has two applications and there's no essay, and let's say both kids have a 4.0, how do they pick at that point? You're just picking. But if you have an essay now, and I can now say, okay, this one wasn't as strong, so I'm going to pick this other person. So that's why.
Okay.
But so that's the answer to that. But how to strengthen your back, and this is why I was mentioning that activity earlier, is writing down a list of your activity. Maybe a loss of a parent, or something like that, and be able to interweave your story and tie it back to whatever the question is. So want to do for your future career. And so most students would just say, well, I want to be a nurse. Some experience that shows you exhibiting some skill of a doctor, some skill of a nurse, or someone that will be working in the health field, and tie it into that scholarship because most likely it's a health or medical scholarship. So pull your story in there and don't be afraid to be authentic and show. I like to say the show, don't tell. So don't just say that I am a lover of chemistry, but okay, how? How did you do that? Give us an example.
Well, I love the fact that, especially in the medical field, if you want to be a nurse, say, for example, and you don't really have nursing experience at this point, but you could have been a caretaker. You could have assisted in the caretaking of your grandparents, of your parents, of a sibling. And by utilizing that experience, you tie that back into your passion to want to learn this. I think it makes writing the essay easier. Because now you're writing about something that you're not trying to think of something to impress people. You're just probably the reason why you want to be a caretaker or a nurse is because you have had some experiences or someone in your life was a caretaker and you saw that and you saw the significance. So I love that concept, especially with kids that want to do technology. I had my son, the first thing I taught my son was how to break down a computer and put it back together. And so he always had that love for technology. And so every time I got a new computer, I had him do it when I didn't want to do it anymore. So now he's proficient in that. So when he needs to write essays for those type of scholarships, it's because I taught him that was the first one of the things I taught him when he was growing up is the computer, how to break it down and how to put it back together. And that's where his passion came. So that's very important. And I appreciate you bringing that up of how to strengthen those essays is to do something, tie it to your experience in your relationships and bring it back to what the question is. Wow. Yeah. Man, I thought I was smart. That's why I have friends that are smarter than me.
That's why we hang out.
Okay, so this happened to me. My son, just wasn't motivated about applying for scholarships. Of course, I'm motivated because I don't want to pay. That's my motivation. How about that?
That's right.
But how do we get our children, when they have no concept of the cost of tuition and that they are going to have to pay it one way or another, how do we get them motivated to apply for scholarships?
Right. And parents. Oh, hi, Tanya.
Hey. Okay, you're breaking up a little bit.
Oh, are we good to go now?
Yeah, I can hear you. You might just need to speak up a little bit.
Okay. First of all, is you have to be honest. You have to sit your child. America a few years ago did a survey. They surveyed teens and parents individually, and they asked them who's paying for college, and they both said each other.
Yeah.
Because they hadn't talked, and that's what this survey. I'm not saying to sit down and say I make $300,000. You may not want to reveal the exact amount, but sit down and tell them I have 54 years in together. So once you sit down and have that talk, I like to turn it into a money talk, and I know you're going to like this, Tarra, because that's.
Okay, wait a minute. You're breaking up. We can't hear you. Or it might be me.
Okay. It's too abstract for children. So turn it into a money. Is if you spent 4 hours working on a scholarship, you just made $250. A lot of people make at a job every hour. Okay. So that's how I like to explain.
Okay, I need you to explain that again because you broke up for me. I don't know if you broke up for everybody, but if you spend 4 hours writing a scholarship.
Yes, and let's say that scholarship you wanted, it was $1,000.
Okay.
That 4 hours took you 4 hours to make $1,000. You just made $250 an hour. That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. So
we probably won't make that money at a job. That's a hell of a lot of money. So imagine if you spend 4 hours and you were able to get a $50,000 scholarship. See? How about that? Exactly. I'm in the wrong business, man. I need to just sit 4 hours, write a scholarship, bam. That's right. You making me think about my career goals, girl. All right.
Hey, you
That's
got
a
to get them after the
perspective
fact.
for your ass. That's a perspective, okay? You want to make some money? Spend 4 hours, do this scholarship, make that $1,000. Boom.
That's right.
How about that? All right. Okay. So, what are scholarship judges looking for when they're selecting scholarship winners?
Number one is leadership. And I know they're really good students. It's not enough to just say that you have a 4.0 or a 3.5, but what are you doing outside of the class, enhancing your learning? Because you're still learning with world experiences as well. So they're really looking for both.
Okay, so not just looking for if you're smart, book smart. They're looking if you're socially smart, if you're
Right.
community smart.
Right.
Are you contributing to the community?
Right.
Are you doing something to expand your teamwork? Are you involved with sports, student government associations, other nonprofit organizations, other student engagement? Are you sharing your views? Are you sharing your intellect? Are you sharing your talents? How are you going to be a contributing part of society? Why should we give you this money to make you brighter? What are you doing already to deserve this money? Am I getting that right?
That's right.
Smarter than the average bear. I'm just saying. Oh my gosh, I love this. Okay. So how can my child, or how can I manage the scholarship search process and the application process? Because that can be very overwhelming when you're applying to several, scholarships. So how do we manage that process?
Yeah, so I encourage families to sit down and make their own system. I don't believe that there's one system for everyone because everyone would take time. And this is what I tell students and I say maximize the time you have. If you have 2 hours on a Saturday, hours, get mom and dad in there, have everyone searching. Stats coming up in the next 4 weeks for that second hour, but you need to be investing time every week. And so here's the rule of thumb: if your child, or if you anticipate getting a college bill, if you're not going to get a full ride, or if you anticipate having to owe a balance, then you should be searching every week.
Well, how about that? Hey, it just came to me. Why don't kids have a scholarship search party? I mean, we have parties for everything else. So why don't kids, come together, pizza and all, do they still do pizza? Maybe it's sushi now. I don't know. So come together over somebody's house and then do a scholarship party, or have a family night, and the family night consists of the scholarship search party, family night, and whoever finds the best scholarship or whatever, but turn it into something fun, turn it into a game so it doesn't feel like it's a painstaking process.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to do it because it's boring or it's tedious. So if we can make it fun and somebody can find do a scavenger hunt scholarship, a scavenger scholarship hunt. How about that?
Yeah, that's a great idea.
I'm going to charge y'all later. Okay. I have these great ideas. People pay me for this crap. Okay. Just saying. Awesome. There you go. A scholarship scavenger hunt. How about that?
I like it.
You need to find a scholarship that allows me to do technology, or allows me to do, sports or whatever. And whoever can find that will win something, and then, apply and, do some of the techniques that we talked about before. Do the essay, find out what the question is, figure out in your mind or in your past history what happened in your life that will benefit, that cause you to want to do this, that gives you that passion to do this. So I think that's so awesome. So what are ways that they can connect with you, Ashley, to find more, to maybe even work with you? Or let's talk about this. What are some of the services that you provide families and students so they can hire you? What is it that you do?
Yes, so I really break it into two different things. The first tier is for families that they know they don't have time. They want someone to do all the searching, come up with the strategy, the angle for the essay, and present it. Then that's what I do for those families. And so that's one service. Now for the families where they have a bit more time, the student is willing to search, but they need guidance, a service for that tier of families.
Awesome. So you have the service where, and a lot of people will pay for convenience. I don't, I'm a busy mom. I'm a single mom. I may be an executive, but I don't have the time to do all of this searching for my child, and my child's busy and all that. I need someone to help us do this, because at the end of the day, we need the scholarships. My son is bright, or my daughter is really bright. They're in sports. They're doing all this. I just don't have the time to invest in searching for it. So yeah, I can hire Ashley to do the searching for us and then tell us what we should apply for. Or you know what, my son and I, or my daughter and I, we have the time to do it, but we just really don't know where to look for first. We don't know the best resources, how to approach it, how to approach the essay. They can hire you, Ashley, as a consultant to help them through the process. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Awesome. So how do they get started working with you? How can people get started? How can they find you? How can they get started working with you?
Right. So really the best way is to go to my website, which is www.collegeprepready. That's all one word, collegeprepready.com. They can go in there and contact me, but if they're ready to get on the phone now for 15 minutes, they can go to calendly.com/Ashley L. Hill. That's my full name.
Calendly.com/Ashley
L for my middle initial, Hill.
L. Hill. All right. So I put that website in the comments so that you can schedule a 15-minute conversation with Ashley. And that's no cost, right? To have a 15-minute conversation. See, I give y'all stuff for free. Y'all should love me by now. Okay. Also have her website up here, collegeprepready.com. You can go there to learn more about Ashley. Again, Ashley, tell us a little bit more about your book that you have, which is our book of the week.
I'm so excited. So the ultimate guide for finding and winning more money for college. Now, I take you through, it's a 6-step process. We've touched on basically almost a piece of every step, but I go into greater detail. I even show you how to get scholarships emailed to you every day. So that's a little bit in there. Oh, yeah.
What? I think I want that.
I use that too when I work with clients.
Just in case I want to go back. I want email. I want money emailed to me every day. How about that?
Oh yeah. Good stuff.
All right. I love it. Okay, cool. So make sure you get her book. Again, it's the book of the week on my website, madamoney.com. You can go see her at collegeprepready.com. And if you want to have a conversation with her, you can have a complimentary 15-minute conversation with Ashley Hill, the Scholarship Search Strategist, at Calendly, CALENDLY.com/Ashley L. Hill. I put those links inside of the comments, so make sure you get to them. Make sure you have a conversation with her. I don't even care if your child's in 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade. It's never too soon to start searching for scholarships. The secret to searching for college scholarships is to start sooner. You know how I say save something sooner? Start searching for scholarships sooner. How about that? Oh, hashtag that.
That was good.
That was a good one, right? I'm full of it.
Good.
I'm just full of it. Okay. Well, this has been fun. I wish I knew known you about like how old's my son? 21. Wish I knew you like 10 years ago. Boy, man, I would be getting scholarships for finding him scholarships. How about that? You know what I mean? So, okay, before I let you go, are there scholarships for people that want to go to grad school? Like for me, if I want to go back to school and do grad school or do doctorate or whatever, are there scholarships out there for us?
Yes, for your master's. Girl, start with the college itself. And then secondly, go to the career, like the industry, a lot of funding for graduate students.
So say that again. Go to the college itself that you may want to go to, see if they have grad school scholarships, because they want to build up their scholarship program. Okay, their grad program. And then what was the second one?
The second one is go to the industry organizations in your desired field. So if you want to go into nursing, search out I think it's association, and they have a lot of scholarships on there.
Awesome. And then also, I have to give a shout out to Sally Mae. They should have been a sponsor. I bet you there'll be one next week. How about that? But for real, SallyMae.com, they have an awesome scholarship resource. And what you do is you put in your preferences and your student's age and, you know, what they're good at and what the GPA is. And you get emailed a whole bunch of scholarships, possible scholarships that match your child or your criteria. It's really, really cool. I got to give it up. Big ups.
Good stuff.
They're trying. Go, Sally Mae. Okay. All right. So thank you, Ashley, so much. How can people follow you on social media?
Yes, social media. So I'm on Twitter, literally like all day long, under Prep, the word for FOR College. Prep, FOR College on Twitter. On Facebook, I actually have a page, which is Prep, the number 4 College. Prep, the number 4 College. But I also have a private group. It's free to get in, and that is Facebook/group/the Scholarship Chat. So go to
Scholarship Chat. And you have a Twitter chat, don't you?
I do. It's on tonight. Later on tonight at 9.
So there we go. So hashtag what? What's the hashtag?
College Chat.
Hashtag College Chat. So if you want to know more about this scholarship thing, follow her Twitter chat. Mine's on Friday nights. Hers is obviously on Tuesday nights at what, 9 p.m. 9 p.m. Y'all have no excuse. I don't think Empire's on anymore. And even if it is, you should look at building your empire in scholarships. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. But you can follow on Twitter, hashtag College Chat. I am so proud of you, Ashley. Thank you so much for sharing your information and sharing your knowledge. And I hope everybody will take advantage of her offer to speak with her. 15 minutes is a lot of time when you want to get that information. Yes. Thank you. College Chat, hashtag College Chat. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Ashley, so much for joining us. I really appreciate you. And I really appreciate everyone for tuning in. Thank you for bearing with us with the technology issues, you know, that internet connection and all that stuff. It just is what it is. But I am determined to get you the information that you need, that insider information about your money, so that you can make money more manageable within that. Thank you, Joy, for tuning in. Thank you, Tanya. And thank you, everyone, for watching and for sharing. So if you know a college student, if you know parents of college students, if you know parents of high school students, even elementary students, make sure you share this video. Please share this video. Thank you, Cordella, for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Next week, we're going to talk about fun ways to fund college, some fun ways. I have an awesome guest. His name is Wayne Weber. He is the CEO and founder of Gift of College. Okay. It's a gift card, and it's cool, and it helps you build up money for college for your child or for yourself. It's the coolest concept ever. So he's going to talk about that, as well as some fun ways to build money for college. So make sure you all hang out with me. I'm actually going to be doing a webinar, so stay tuned for that information. A lot of you all want to know about credit reports, about credit scores, the anatomy of credit. I'm going to share all of that information. It's coming to you in a webinar, so stay tuned for that. And if you'd like access to my free webinar about how to control your cash, now I'll have that on my page as well. Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's Madam Money class. You know what? I love you. There's nothing you can do about it. And of course, how much have you spent today? I love y'all. Bye.